gotta ask me again. Reyna tells them all that they need to bow to the Lord Rahl, and again gestures to the invisible spot. Everyone's confused, and they do it before they all go down the hall.
I don't get what the point of this is. If you are trying to, like, okay, you're making a spectacle. You're walking a nothing through a crowd of people, and you're protecting it like it's the Lord Rahl, because it is. But then you're getting through there and be like, hey, bow to this nothing. No, nobody in their right mind would do that. I'm not going to bow to your nothing if the guy is there, or even, even one more than that. So, like, if you're the in-charge guy, Rybish, like the guy they're going to see, and he's like, hey, bow the fuck down. Yeah, you should probably do it.
Yeah.
These are some first-file guys and some Mord Sith, which, scary enough, don't get me wrong, but they're not, like, in charge of people. And there's nothing there. So, like, okay, yeah, bow down. Why? You don't have anything.
Yeah, no, it seems like they're trying to prove that they, like, have authority, but it is weird, because what you would want to do at this point is just get through as quick as you can with as little questions as you can. Like, they were doing great. If they had just kept walking, then nobody's gonna be like, wait, what the fuck? When you start pointing out the invisible thing, you guys all look crazy now, and it's making me doubt whether or not we should listen to you.
That's what it is. You're crazy, so now I doubt your authority because you're obviously insane, and I'm not going to follow your orders.
Either you're insane or you're pulling some bullshit right now, and I don't trust either thing, so now we all need to close ranks around you. Like, if they had just kept walking, people would be like, I don't know what's going on, man. Me either. They're looking for Rybish. I don't know why. I'm going to sit over here and eat my crumpet.
Crumpet.
I don't know.
It seemed random, but yeah, no, crumpet, sure.
Once in the room, they are greeted with 3 ranks of heavily armored dudes. Yeah.
Could this possibly be our tier 3 level resistance?
Yeah, I think it is. Yep. Richard has a pang of worry immediately that they just, like, slid into a viper's pit.
Shit.
Like,
there's a lot of them.
You know what? Maybe this was a bad idea. The group of men that's sitting behind the table all have scars on their arms, and Richard's, like, thinking that denotes their rank.
They're very neat scars. Like, scars that were done on purpose. This is not, like, a knife gash from a battle. This is a straight incision in their skin as a mark, like a tattoo.
Yeah, they all have them in the same place, and they're badasses.
At least they're
basically
not brands.
Yeah,
I've watched people get branded. I'm not some sicko. I'm just like, tattoos, and people can get shapes done, and some of them are very cool. They're very cool. I would never get a big one. But I was looking at branding, not for my personal self. Yeah, scarification, as a means to stuff like this. Like denoting a rank.
Yeah.
In old times, like when this took place, you could see things like that. But I've watched one person get a brand, and fuck no. I will never do it. I would much rather get cut and have to scar up that way than get a brand.
Yeah, when I was younger, kids did this stupid thing where they, like, held lighters for a long time, and they would burn themselves with it, and it's just dumb. It's just dumb. So, this is, I don't know, maybe not as bad as branding, because burns are bad. Like, they're bad.
Yeah, well, yeah, none of it's good, but I think it all goes to show that these guys are, like, pure steel badasses.
Yes, they are badasses. So the dude that has the most scars, like on his arm, also has a giant scar on his face. I keep thinking that this guy is the guy who got hit with the horse, like when Kaelin got him.
Oh, yeah, with a fucked up face.
Yeah, I keep thinking that that's what happened, because he also has an R name, and he's a Daharan. That's not this guy. This guy is Rybish. He's a bitch, and his name is Ry, and that's who we're talking about
And that's
today.
who it is.
Yes. So, now that we have that established, I think we need to take a beer break.
Well, fantastic. That was, 3 levels, and then you have your boss level. So the boss level is drinking a beer.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
We got this game in the bag. Yeah, you have it. I don't have it.
Oh, I do it. Okay. So, tonight, we are drinking Imperial Coconut Stout, which tastes like suntan lotion.
Wait, like what? Really?
It's from Big Lake Brewing. Here, try some. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. It's coconut. Like,
it's
strong
very sweet.
coconut.
I like it, but I also just was finishing a Monster too, so I don't know if Monster plus coconut's a great mix.
It's not bad. It's 9%. Again, the longer I drink it, the better it gets. So, when I first took a sip, I was like, whoa, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And I'm not a coconut person usually. I don't like coconut, like actual coconut, like shreddies, that stuff. I hate it.
I love
it's
the
terrible.
shreddies.
But I can drink coconut in things. That's good. This is just a lot of coconut, but once you get partially through it, it's,
then it's fine.
It's what it is.
Well, like you like to say, I'm sure the 9% isn't hurting either.
Oh, I don't think it is. I don't think it is
all
at
right.
all.
My palate is clean. I will try one more here. Oh, yeah, I could get down on that.
It's very summery. It's like a summery stout, and you don't get a lot of those, so that's nice.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we're drinking. I'm going to have another one, and we'll be back right after this.
And we are back. Man, I love that commercial where the guy says the funny thing. Just the best.
It's awesome.
Sorry. So when a tussle starts after Haley challenges the guards, Rybish tells the guards to just let him through. And so they do. But they do it in a way that is the most intense way to let somebody through a door. They just barely move over.
Yeah.
Like, if you really want to get through, push through.
Make it.
Come on, big man.
Make it yourself.
Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't like tight spaces. I hate it when I feel like I can't move. I would not enjoy this at all.
The Mord Sith have their Agiles in their hands. I can picture them with their Agiles in their hands, like, backing people off.
I don't know why, but this almost reminded me of a mosh pit from back in the day. I think a mosh pit is almost better than this because you can, like, spring out and push people away from you and you, like, create your own hole. If you're really good at participating in mosh pits, you're fine most of the time.
I've never been in a mosh pit because even though I thought I was a tough ass bitch, I've always had my back issues. So
yeah, you don't want to get
not
knocked
gonna.
over.
I knew better than to fuck around with that.
I'm pretty sure most of my back issues came from headbanging the way I did at all the local metal shows, but
probably.
But
Or
there's
mosh
always
pits,
one guy.
man.
There's always one guy, or mosh pits, but there was always one guy that you couldn't move. You could charge him, you could do whatever it is you wanted to, and he was just a brick fucking wall.
Yeah.
His name was Leaf, and he was awesome. I don't even know the guy that well, but I knew that about him. Like, hey, see him in the pit? Just leave him the fuck alone. He's Uluk. That's who he is.
Yeah.
He ain't budging. Anyway, so they're barely given any room to move through here, and they're surrounded by even more troops.
Like they plug up the hole behind him.
Right. And Haley tells Scar Dude, a.k.a. Rybish, if you guys haven't put that together yet, that's who it is, that she has a message for him from Trimac and lets him read the scroll. So he reads the scroll, and then she's like, hey, but that's not all.
And there's more!
For just an extra $5.99. No, sorry. So they all gesture towards this empty space where Richard is standing, where nobody has been this whole time. And Rybish is confused. Like, I don't blame the guy. I'd be getting frustrated too. You made it all the way up here. My time is obviously very, very important. Let's get to the shit.
You're making it seem like this is an important and a big fucking deal, and now you're playing these games with me. Like, here he is, right in front of you.
Right. So Richard, he's sitting here underneath his cloak, right? I picture him giggling like an 8-year-old, like, I'm gonna pop it out. It's gonna be awesome. He waits just long enough to make it super tense. And then he pops the cape off, and he's like, ta-da!
If I were the people with him, I would be mad. Honestly. Like, when we said, we present Lord Rahl, you were supposed to drop the cape. You were not supposed to play your little fucking game.
That
to
was
where,
your cue.
Yeah, to where Rybish starts asking me, oh, what are you talking about? The Gratch? Are you guys saying that you're more... No. We weren't supposed to have to be interrogated after we said we present Lord Rahl. You were supposed to drop the fucking cape, Richard.
Do it right away.
Yeah. We were the ones that were gonna get fucking attacked, dick.
Well, he tries to save the moment by saying, I am Lord Rahl. all intense.
It is, yeah.
Trying to get everybody's attention.
It's his badass moment.
He did.
Yeah.
He got everybody's attention. Even Rybish's attention.
Yeah.
And then he laughed. Not Richard. Rybish.
Yeah.
He just starts cracking up. He's like, what the fuck is this? And Richard, all of the steam that Richard had built up from this intense 3 levels of resistance to the boss room, and it's all gone, because Rybish is like, yeah, okay, so you had an invisible guy. Woo! Whatever, dude.
Well, and how deflating is that? Like, you're standing there, you think that you look like a fucking badass, and you just pulled off something really cool. And there's a lot of people, you could tell a lot of people are impressed, and you're like, yeah. But then there's this one guy, the one guy you were meant to impress, who's like, you're ridiculous. Yeah. That's embarrassing.
It is. But look, Richard tries to pull rank because he's the Lord Rahl. He's like, okay, so that didn't do it? I'm Lord Rahl. Ugh. But Rybish just patronizes him and talks shit about the Mordsith not being real, which, that's a mistake. Fucking, he gets hit with an Aegil on his hand just for talking shit. They attacked the number 1 guy that they're here to see.
Yeah, things went downhill real fucking quick. They went from trying to impress him to smacking him with the Aegil really, really fast. They, fast-tracked that shit. Because at this point, Rybish isn't playing the game that they thought he was going to. He's not into the tricks.
No, not at all. And I mean, if I were Richard, I would have one more move before I tried to pull rank and, obviously start the violence that we all know is going to happen. I'd be like, hey, I just snuck through all your guys. I wouldn't sit up here so high and mighty, big cocky master of the world, when you just let a guy sneak through your ranks. Who are you in charge of? Because your guys didn't do their job. That means there's a guy here who can do your job, and that's me. Which is pulling rank, but I mean, still.
Even if I'm, a lowly street magician, I did some pretty cool shit there that none of your men saw before.
Right.
I just think it's always funny to see Richard when he's kind of off his guard. He had a plan, it didn't go the way it meant, and he didn't have a backup plan. He didn't have, anything in his head ready to say to this guy. He was just like, shit. Darkenroll's my daddy, and
Damn
I
it,
killed him.
I had something for this.
So, that's not working either. Damn it.
So weapons go to hands everywhere, and Richard is frustrated that shit is going so badly. But he draws his sword as well, because, when in Rome, or the next city over, or gas station, really wherever, Rybish tells his men to kill them, and at the same time, the windows shatter inward.
At first, I thought Richard did something. I feel like you probably did too, right? That's
Seems
what it was
like
meant to feel like.
Oh, it's going bad. Call in backup. This is where SWAT kicks in the windows. They drop down from the ropes and ease the situation.
Yeah, I was like, oh, his magic need came out, and he just burst the windows out, but they were burst in.
But they're not SWAT. Richard suddenly feels them. That's right. Mriswith have arrived to the party. An intense battle follows that starts with Richard finding his center and telling the blade to be true this day, which is fucking awesome. I love it every time he does it. I noticed, though, he skipped the whole I'm going to chop up my arm thing.
He did.
Didn't have time for that.
He did. But it was, I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast, but I know that me and you have talked about this recently, where a lot of times in a fight, there's this moment where all of a sudden time stops for them, and they're having deep inner thoughts or a realization. Shit spins out for them for a minute, and we were talking about how everybody else in the room is just like, hey, why are you doing that right now? So it just made me laugh because Richard's standing in the middle of this very intense, shit just jumped in through the fucking windows into this room, and everybody was
going
already
in slow motion.
Yeah, everybody else in the room was already attacking each other, so there's a lot of fucking fighting going on, and he spends the time to stop and find his center and put his sword on his fucking forehead for a minute before he starts fighting. Dude.
He had all the time in the world.
Yeah.
And he pretty much does have all the time in the world because he's Richard. So after he's good and he's told the blade to be true, he's washed his hands and, did some laundry, he kills all of the Mriswith. Basically by himself. I mean, not really. There's a battle. Some people die on both sides. Nobody else kills the Mriswith, though.
Gretch.
It seems like, other than Richard and Gretch.
Yeah.
none of the soldiers.
No.
I guess was the
No,
point.
No.
None of the other humans that were there really helped the fight at all.